And good Tuesday afternoon. My name is Ryan Belmore, and I'm the owner and publisher of What's Up Newp. Joining you today, very exciting day tomorrow. Well, we hope it's tomorrow. We're going to find out. Three-time Olympian, silver medalist in 2016, Team USA captain Elizabeth Beisel, who is a Rhode Island native, is poised to make history tomorrow when she swims from mainland Rhode Island to Block Island. And Elizabeth joins us now. And hi, Elizabeth.
Hi, Ryan. Thanks for having me.
Of course. So first of all, is the swim on for tomorrow?
So you're actually going to break the news. No.
Okay.
Yeah, I got the call about an hour ago. I have a very big safety crew. Safety is obviously the number one priority, and this isn't really a swim you can just wake up and do one day. A lot of factors go into making a crossing like this, and unfortunately the winds are high out of the south-southeast tomorrow, which means I'll be fighting it. I'm swimming south the entire way, so I'll be fighting that wind for the entirety of my swim, as well as high swells. So no swim tomorrow, but likely will be, hopefully, fingers crossed, this weekend. We have a window of time where the tides and the currents look favorable. So probably either Saturday, Sunday, or Monday, we will get this thing done, because I feel like I've been pulling the rug out from everybody. Like, this is the third time now that we've had to reschedule, but that's the nature of the beast. And Mother Nature we kind of have to follow her lead. So we're going to do just that and stay safe. But also remember, the reasoning behind this entire swim is to obviously raise funds for cancer research and clinical trials here in Rhode Island. So we will continue to do that, swim or no swim. But selfishly, I kind of hope to swim.
Yes, and if completed, you'll be the first woman to swim the 10.5-mile route. But of course, there's a bigger cause. Tell us, how did we get here? How did we get to you having the want or the need to swim from Point Judith over to Block Island?
Yeah, so the want has been there since I was a little girl. I know, born and raised in the ocean, is kind of the location for a lot of us, and I grew up going there and kind of always wanted to swim there. I was like, why hasn't really anybody done this? And so I've always wanted to do it, but never had a reason behind it. And I wanted to do it for charity. And so fast forward to now, me being 29. Unfortunately, back last December, my dad was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer. And I kind of wanted to do something to give him something to look forward to while raising money for a really important cause that hits close to home for me. And I kind of was like, wait, this swim to Block Island could kind of be a perfect opportunity to give my dad something to look forward to and raise funds for cancer research right here in Rhode Island. So that's kind of how we came about to block cancer. And unfortunately, my dad lost his battle to pancreatic cancer in July. So whenever the swim does happen, I'm hopeful it will. My dad will not be there physically, but I know he'll be there with me in another way, cheering me on, and giving me some extra motivation to hopefully get to Block Island. But that's kind of the long story short version of how we got here and why I'm doing this.
And you are still raising money for Swim Across America, where proceeds from the swim support clinical trials, cancer research. And I'll put that website right here on the bottom for people to follow along or to support you. But so far, you've raised $122,359.
It's amazing.
That is pretty remarkable.
Ryan, we literally started with a goal of 5K. And that was like, I wanted to remain modest and humble. I was like, well, $5,000, like that could potentially help somebody. And my dad was like, oh my God, no, we're going to 100,000. We're hitting 6 figures. And this was back in April or May when we first announced it. And I was like, Dad, you are nuts. Like, no way. And here we are at almost $125,000. And I know my dad is just stoked, smiling ear to ear from above. And I am too, because the swim is not just about me or my dad. It's about everybody that has been touched by cancer. And unfortunately, that's most of us. And the one thing that my dad really wanted was for all of this money to stay in Rhode Island. And that's exactly what it's going to do. It's going to go to research at local hospitals. It's going to help somebody that maybe you know or I know have an extra month, week, year with their loved one. And that's really what this is all about. It's about the community and making a difference. And I have felt the love the entire way through this journey. And it warms my heart to know that, I'm doing something that's kind of bringing people together.
And for those that don't know, obviously you were born and raised in Rhode Island, and then you went off in the Olympics, but you still call Rhode Island home to this day.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I took a little bit of a hiatus. I went to school at the University of Florida, so I was out of state for about 7 years. But Rhode Island is always home. I live in Newport now, actually, in how ironic is this? Ryan's old apartment. Like the room I'm sitting in used to be Ryan's room. So that's a classic.
I wasn't going to bring that up.
Well, here I am for it.
It's a Rhode Island
thing. It is a
thing.
Rhode Island thing. Like that is the most Rhode Island thing ever. So Rhode Island will forever be home. And I just love it here. The people here are amazing. The community is amazing. And my swim is just a testament to the people that live here.
How do you train for such a swim?
It stinks. Oh my gosh, training. So I'm used to training in a very controlled environment, right? A pool heated to 80 degrees, always indoors, never have to deal with the elements like the wind, the swells, the currents, the tides. So for me, swimming has been strictly in the ocean. And I have been swimming 2 to 3 to 4 hours a day as often as I can, conditions permitting. I've also been working out at a local gym here called Pulse. They've been really awesome to me. And yeah, it's been an eye-opening training regimen because it has been so different. Although I'm still swimming, it's a different type of swimming. It's endurance swimming, which I don't normally do. So I'm swimming for up to 7 hours to Block Island. So my body needs to be ready to do that, needs to be fueled to do that. So a lot less muscle building and high intensity work and a lot more kind of slower burning endurance work.
And something I was looking at the media advisory, I'm sure you're not used to doing this in the Olympics, but eating while swimming.
Yes. I'm not used to that at all. Didn't they always warn you when you were a kid, like, don't eat 30 minutes before you swim? And it's like, well, I'm going to be eating for 7 hours while I'm swimming. So, but it's high caloric foods and low volume. So think, 100 calorie packets of booze that are just straight starch and sugar that's going to go straight into my bloodstream, or like a Cliff Bar, things that are easily digested, that sit well with my stomach, that I can fuel throughout this long swim, because it's kind of like a long walk where you can walk for 7 hours, but you're definitely going to be tired at the end. And that's kind of how I'm viewing the swim, where I'm not raising my heart rate. I'm not racing. There's not a record that I need to beat. I just need to stay fueled and make sure that I do finish. So
how many days heads up do you need? If it's going to be this weekend, when do you need to know it's going to be this weekend?
Likely they make the call 2 days before, but this was a little weird because yesterday I got a call from the crew saying, we are 100% go for Wednesday. Don't worry about anything. It looks great. Got a text this morning at 4:45 a.m. Still confirming, hey, tomorrow looks awesome. It's the day. Let's do it. And then there was a weather advisory put out at 8 a.m. this morning, saying that the winds have picked up significantly. They were mirroring what Hurricane Larry looked like 2 weeks ago when I was going to try to swim. So things can kind of change on a dime, especially during hurricane season here in New England. So I'm kind of just waiting until morning of now. Like I've kind of learned my lesson where the weather can switch very quickly. So I think if it's this weekend, maybe the final call will be made the night before. So hopefully I get that call at some point within the next week.
And your swim will be nonstop and unassisted, but talk to us about who else will be out there with you, supporting you along the way.
Yeah, I have an amazing support crew. I have a lead boat, a chase boat, and 2 kayakers alongside of me. So I'm kind of sandwiched in between 4 vehicles. So I'll be very safe. I have an EMT, I have a feeder, I have an observer, I have a Navy SEAL. I have a shark expert. I have all of my bases covered to do this swim. And, it is hard, obviously, with scheduling and rescheduling this. So we may have to go down to a skeleton crew if we do reschedule this weekend. So maybe a shark expert won't be on board. Maybe I'll only have one kayaker. But at the end of the day, safety is the number one priority for a swim like this. And so, hopefully the whole crew can be there. But if not, we're still going to make it as safe as we can.
Now, you're going to provide updates as soon as you know when the swim is scheduled. Again, if you missed it, it has been pushed from Wednesday to hopefully this weekend. Blockcancer.org. You can follow updates. You can also support the cause. But when you post when it's going to happen, do you want people down there at the starting line, at the finish line on Block Island?
I would love that. The more the merrier, honestly. And Ocean Mist is where I'm leaving from in Matunic, and they have been so amazing to work with. So please come to the OMIS. Everybody needs an excuse to go down to Matunic at OMIS. So let me be your excuse. And then Ballards is hosting the after party / landing for me once I get to Block Island. Again, I'll be posting all of these updates on my social media channels on blockcancer.org. So as long as you're just checking in with those over the next few days, hopefully we'll have some answers for you. But yeah, anybody and everybody, come on down. I would love to see everybody.
What's the recovery like once you get to Ballards? Is it time for a burger and a beer, or do you need a couple days?
It's a mudslide for sure for me. Burger and a mudslide. And then maybe a couple days of rest. But I think I'm going to be on such an adrenaline high once I get there. I'm going to maybe feel better than I expect to feel. But I think definitely the days following, the soreness is going to set in. And I'll definitely will not be swimming those days or working out. I'll just be resting. Maybe a massage.
And Elizabeth, we didn't have a chance to talk about it, but take a few minutes to talk about your book.
Oh, yeah. So my book actually came out at the worst time possible. It came out a month before COVID in 2020. So I wasn't able to really do any book tour or signing. We canceled all of that. But it's just about my swimming career, and I tried to humanize being an Olympic athlete and making it something that any athlete or anybody that's trying to get that craft could do. Especially being, small town girl from Rhode Island. There was never anybody special. I'm 5'6". I'm kind of, I walk down the street. Nobody assumes I'm an Olympic athlete. So talk about the highs and lows of my swimming career, try to keep it pretty honest and raw. And hopefully it's an inspiring read for somebody that's kind of going after something that might seem daunting or scary. But give those people the inspiration that they can do it. Because if I could do it, pretty much anybody can do anything. So, yeah.
And where can people pick up your book?
So it's on Amazon. It's called Silver Lining. And then if you want a personalized copy, you can go to my website. It's elizabethbeisel.com. And you can request what you want me to write, and I'll sign it, and I will personally ship it out to you.
One more question, because I know you were there kind of helping out a little bit. How were the Olympics?
Yeah, so I was lucky enough to be in Tokyo this past summer with NBC. I did a little bit of commentating and reporting for them. It was amazing. I was just so happy that the athletes had an opportunity to compete, and I felt very safe the entire time. COVID protocols were in strict place, but everybody followed them accordingly. And I think Japan put on an incredible Olympics, all things considered. And it just makes me even more excited for Beijing, just around the corner in January for the Winter Olympics. And then again, Paris in just less than 3 years now in 2024. So it gets me excited. I love the Olympics.
Yes, coming up quick. And your swim has been pushed from tomorrow over to hopefully this weekend. One question about the swim, if I've done a marathon. When you do a marathon, you can listen to headphones and you have something to do while you're running. What are you doing while you're swimming?
Not listening to music, unfortunately. I get pretty distracted while I'm swimming, especially in the ocean, because there's so many things going on around. Like you're looking for waves to kind of where you're going to breathe or like what your pattern is. It's almost like very like stimulating. and it's different from training because when it's a crossing like that, I'm obviously thinking about the waves, thinking about my dad, thinking about why I'm doing this. So I think my mind will be pretty occupied. Fingers crossed if I do this swim. But yeah, there's a lot going on in my mind. Unfortunately, none of it is music because that would be great. But you don't have the luxury of that being in the water.
And hopefully you'll take the ferry back.
I will absolutely be taking the ferry back, and that will be the only way that I ever get to Block Island after this. So.
All right. Excellent. And people can visit your website to follow along to make sure that when the date's going to be, when the time's going to be. Again, it's going to be leaving from the Tunic Beach, Ocean Mist, whenever it does take off, and then you'll be ending on Block Island, and then there will be a celebration after your swim at Ballard's. Hopefully Saturday or Sunday this weekend.
Let's hope so. Everybody send their best vibes to Mother Nature for me, please.
And very important cause, and it's all for the cause, and it's blockcancer.org, and you can help Elizabeth hit her goal of 125,000. And let's go above that. And it's a great cause and a great reason to support it. I wish you the very best of luck during the swim. Did we miss anything today?
No, Ryan, you got it all covered. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Do I have any mail I need to pick up?
You do sometimes. I still get Ryan's mail occasionally, but I always make sure that I reach out and give it to you.
I appreciate that. And yeah, your website is great and has the tracker, has gear, donate, all of that good stuff. And it's going to be a historic swim, and it's going to be a lot of fun following along.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ryan. I really appreciate it.
All right. Thank you very much, Elizabeth Beisel. And to follow Elizabeth's progress, learn more, support, donate, find out when the swim is going to take place, visit blockcancer.org. And I want to thank Elizabeth for joining me. And if you missed any portion of this video, this conversation, you can find it on our website. You can share it with your friends, family, and anybody else who would like to follow along as well.